Hi, ladies. I'm going to mute you and just wait for everybody else to come in. Okay. Sure, I have all my notes. One more meeting. We're going to give it a couple of minutes. I'm just going to remind everybody in the app. I'm taking off my sneakers. That's why you see me bending down. People are still coming in. My feet are so happy now. Stacy with an I, I'm actually going to answer your question tonight. My contacts are super dry. All right, I'm going to give it another minute. Ish. Maybe a little bit longer. This is the most people we've had for the new session. And it's the last macros meeting 101. It's probably going to be the shortest, but that's okay. Hopefully everybody that's on here right now that is a new or returning Shred Tribe baddie, you are going back and watching. I'm looking at the messages. Hi, Ada. You are going back and watching the videos from Monday and Tuesday and now today. Because today is just, I'm going to finish up what we've been talking about. And then we start tracking. You notice there are people tracking because they're getting shout outs in the group. I think there was 3 people that got shout outs today, which is great. So I turned that on. So you'll see everybody that starts getting shout outs that are in only that group. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm not going to do a recap of anything we've spoken about because it's already in a meeting. If you are a continuing on Shred Tribe member, we already had the meeting for the week, and it was our closure meeting or wrap up meeting. It's this is our 3rd Macros 101 meeting for the new Shred Tribe session. I just don't want anybody to get confused. Okay. So we've been talking about your numbers and all that stuff. I want to talk about your app really quick. And I want you to all pull up your dash. And we're doing this for 2 reasons. One reason is I want to make sure I got everybody's macros. Second reason is if you don't see this, hold on. If you don't see this on your dash, whether it's all yellow or it's blue or red or gray, if you don't see this right here, you need to message me, because that means either I did not do your macros or you did not sync MyFitnessPal or Fitbit to my app. So I need to know that you can see something like this. And this is actually, his is perfect. And he's going on maintenance, so he's been doing really well. And I used him for a perfect example. So now I want everybody to look at the screens I'm going to show you. So this is his day on his snapshot. Everybody can see that, right? If you look to the screen, you'll see where it says 72 calories left. And then it shows, I don't know, like 6 and 4 and 2 or something like that. That shows what he has left for the day that he's already had to eat. It shows that he got it all in pretty much, and he only has 3 proteins left, 5 carbs, and 1 gram of fat left. That's how you read that. Now, when I click on it, I can see all his food that he logged in on MyFitnessPal. If you click on yours and you don't see the food that you logged into MyFitnessPal, that means you don't have your diary on public in MyFitnessPal. Everybody see that? Okay, next thing, when you are looking at top of your dash, if you are using MyFitnessPal, you should see at the top where it says MyFitnessPal, you should be able to touch it and it will bring you right into MyFitnessPal. It'll toggle you to MyFitnessPal. You do not have to go out of my app and go into the MyFitnessPal app. Only if you're using MyFitnessPal. When you're looking at your food, if you slide over to the left, you're going to see exactly what you saw on your dash. But if you slide up, which means scrolling down, you're going to see the breakdown. Everybody should see this. Not what this looked, not exactly like his, obviously. Now, if you see red, that means you went way over in that category, in that macro. Hi, cutie. If you see blue, that means you are under. If you see yellow, that doesn't mean you are 10 over or under, which is where you need to be. It means you got within 20%. The app won't allow me to make it 10 over under. So just because you see yellow, if you see 34 here, that doesn't mean you hit your macros. It's 10 over or under for proteins and carbs, and about 6 for fats. As you get closer to your goal, that number is going to get tighter. Meaning your variable is going to get tighter, that differential. If you scroll down, you're going to see fiber. Keep an eye on the fiber, especially females. This is a guy, but especially females. You want to keep it around 15 to 25. Don't worry about sugars. And sodium is only important to look at and to keep an eye on if your doctor has you on water pills or your doctor told you to watch your sodium intake. Otherwise, if you are exercising and you are drinking half your body weight in ounces in water every day, you do not have to worry about sodium. You actually need to have that extra sodium in your body. Okay? So you don't have to message me and say, should I be worried about sodium? Okay. So everybody understands the red, the blue, the yellow. 10 over under, proteins, carbs, 6 over under, fats. Those are super, super, super important. You don't see this yet. Oh, you might see this. where you see like you're walking your activities, if you are logging your exercise manually or have your iWatch or Garmin connected, you'll see your fitness. On Monday, you're going to see these 10,000 steps a day. You're going to see drink half your body weight in water. He clicked his off. Yours will be a circle until you click it off that you did it. And you can have a streak. I think Naseem had like a 378-day streak of water and steps. And she was so, like, we were so proud of her, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. If you scroll down more, you're going to start to see your body weight. If you have something linked, you'll see your steps. You'll see your photos. You'll see your calorie intake, your calorie burn. He even has his sleep in here. Lucky guys, almost 8 hours of sleep. And then you get achievements. So he got a 50-day walking achievement. He got longest walk ever achievement, drinking water. This is on September 16th when he hit his first 10-pound goal weight, or 10-pound goal weight. Every time you hit your goal weight of 10 pounds, you'll get a little woohoo kind of thing. Here's another 10 pounds. Fastest walk, you're on a winning streak, just things to help motivate you throughout. And that's all on your dash. Everybody has it on the dash. It doesn't matter who you are. If you look at the bottom of your dash, you should see like your calendar. If you click on your calendar, you will see the meals you added for the day, what you did for the day, and your habits when you get those. So every day you will see a screenshot on your calendar of what you did for the day. You can put things on the calendar if you want by pushing the little plus sign, and you can add things to your calendar. So you can add go walking, whatever the case, whatever you want to add, you can put that on there. And you can scroll down and you'll see that for every day. So here's what I'm talking about. It'll just be circles until you check it off that you did it. You have to manually check it off that you did it. Let's see. On the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a kettlebell. If you click on it, you won't see anything yet. But starting on Monday, where this says shred into fall, you guys are going to see sexy for the holidays. And in there, you'll have all these workouts. So you'll want to scroll and then hit show more. And you'll see so many workouts that you will be able to do at the gym or at home. There's yoga. There's a bunch of things. There's also how to enter steps in your app, how to log food in Fitbit, how to message me, how to record a workout. So there's some how-to videos in there as well. If you scroll over one more and you click the little star thing, you'll see where I put your goal weight. You'll see your macros there again. And then you should have a fork and knife icon somewhere on your page. Everybody's phones are different, so I hate to say where they are. But if you click your fork and knife, you're going to see the PDF file. Everybody, if I did your macros, has a PDF file. If you click on your fork and knife and you don't see a PDF file, you need to message me. Tina, you look like you don't see it, so I'm looking yours up right now. You got it, right? Okay, good. When you open that PDF file, it is a 17-page report, and it is all about your macros personally customized for you. It's super important to read that because it actually, this is Bob's, but it actually will tell you that if you don't feel like measuring, you're going to use 9 palm sizes, and it's for your macros. It's set for you. Everybody gets it for them and only them. Yours will never be the same as anybody else's. It'll tell you how you can break it down, how to meet your targets by breaking it down by meals. Like if you want to do, if you have 9 per day, break it down by 3 per day. It shows you in this report how to do it easily. It'll show you foods to choose. to help you hit your numbers, customized for you. Proteins, carbs, fats, vegetables. You keep scrolling and it's going to keep going. So it's really important that you don't have to print it. A lot of people like to print it and put it in binders, which is cool. And then they bring it to me and show me an Orange Theory that they printed it. But you can keep it in your app and just look at it anytime. It's yours. You can download it so you always have it. So if you decide you want to take a break from the program, you'll still have it. Because once you take a break, I deactivate your profile. It'll get reactivated and your stuff will always still be there. But if you decide you're going to take a break for a little bit, I deactivate you and it'll be there when you come back. Okay. So that is the app in a nutshell. It's pretty simple to use. I don't give anybody the meal planner. You might see that because I don't like to tell you guys, you need to eat this recipe. It doesn't work. There's an app called, and everybody write this down, Fit Men Cook. It is $3.99, I think. But Jody said that she had a way around it by going on YouTube and finding them. But it looks like this. That man right there. Ironically, it's next to Open Table. If anybody knows what Open Table is. It's a restaurant reservation app. Okay, so you click on Fit Men Cook, and there's 953 recipes in this app. Then they add to it all the time. I think when I first got it, there was like 611. So I remember announcing it at one of these meetings. There's 504 meal prep ideas. There's low carb, there's snacks, there's high fiber, there's air fryer, slow cooker, high carbs, vegan, seafood, Mediterranean, post-workout, quick and easy, high protein, budget. There's so many topics that when you click on it, if you pick a recipe that you want, you can start a shopping list. And if you pick 5 recipes, it will build your shopping list to collaborate with all 5 recipes. So if you need cinnamon for 3 of them, it'll add up the total of cinnamon that you need. If you need chicken for 3 of them, it'll tell you the total amount of chicken that you need for all the recipes combined. So you're not doing one recipe at a time. It's pretty freaking cool. I love it. It'll also, if you want, it'll let you choose servings. So if it's just you can make 1 serving. If you want 4, I don't get any kickback for this. I just love the app. And I paid $3.99 for it. I don't know how much it is for Androids or anything, but it is a really good app. What I could do, if too many people don't want it, I could start, besides my health recipe book that I added in the app today, you guys can download that. It's on Amazon too, but you guys can take it. I'll start posting these recipes in there. I just don't cook. So I can't say, oh, I made this great recipe today, guys. Why don't you try it? Because you're not going to want to put chicken and broccoli and mustard in an air fryer. Or buffalo sauce with tilapia and spinach. And I swear to you, I do eat that. It's scary, but I love it. And I like eating clean, and I like eating I like eating volume because I feel like I'm full and I get a lot of food and it makes me feel leaner. It just makes me feel good. It doesn't make me feel bloated. I get enough of that with my LaCroix and bubblies. Okay. So that's a really important app. Now, eating out. When you are searching on apps for eating out, please, if you are eating grilled cheese at the Cheesecake Factory and they don't have that in the app, do not go to another app and find another restaurant and find that grilled cheese and use that as your log. It's not going to be the same thing. Or if you're at a restaurant and they don't have the nutrition in MyFitnessPal, and you having a cheeseburger and you're like, oh, I'm just going to pull Jack in the Box. I don't even know if there's Jack in the Box still, but Red Robin. Is there Red Robin still? I'm going to pull up Red Robin's burger and use that instead. First of all, you have no idea what cheese is on that cheeseburger. If there's mayo, if there's ketchup, if there's barbecue sauce. You can't tell I don't eat burgers. I don't even know what you put on burgers. But if your best bet is to build it, and if you don't feel like building a recipe, just log 6 ounces of 90% beef, 1 slice of American cheese, a bun, and just do it that way. Don't take the easy way out and pull something that you don't have any clue what they're really using. Does that make sense? People do that all the time, or I'll say, it'll say, a restaurant that I've never heard of, they live down here. And I'll say, where did you went to this restaurant? They're like, no, but I had that for dinner. I didn't know what else to pick. And then I'll rebuild it for them. And they're like short 70 carbs because they built it the right way and they didn't realize it. So it's always safer to, if you're not if the restaurant doesn't have it listed, to make it yourself, not cook it yourself, but log it yourself. When you are logging, if you don't have premium, when you are logging meals in MyFitnessPal, I'm going to pull it up. Hold on 1 second. So when you are logging in MyFitnessPal and you want to add a meal, you're going to go to, I hate that it always has the, let me cancel out of this. Okay, so you're going to go to the foods and you're going to create a food. And then you're going to put in the serving size, whatever it is. Now, I use this for alcohol, or I did up until almost 4 weeks ago before I stopped drinking. But, and I didn't drink a lot, just so you guys all know. Everybody's like, you drink a lot? I had 3 glasses of wine a week, if that, but I just feel better not having it at all. So, I put I have one that says like Shannon's wine, the description, if it's 4 ounces or 8 ounces, 1 serving, and then I just follow it through. You could do the same thing with whatever you want that you are using for food that you're eating. Now, if you try to create a recipe, it usually won't let you. Oh no, you could create a recipe, you just can't do a quick add. So you can build a recipe in MyFitnessPal also. Can you tell I don't cook because I did not know that. And then also creating meals and copying meals you could do from MyFitnessPal, and you can copy them over to the next day. They stay in your meals. My in-app tracking is not as user-friendly. Is that a good way to say it, Mary? Or if you've never used an app before to track, go to in-app tracking. But if you got really used to MyFitnessPal, it might be a little bit of a challenge to go to the in-app tracking. But once you do it, you're good, right, Mary? Doesn't look thrilled, right? She does use the in-app tracking though, unless you switch. Did you switch? She's not answering me. You're using MyFitnessPal. Okay. I know there's a bunch of people that are still using it. They're in the group, but and I'm going to get one of them to do a video for me, I promise. But anyway, okay, so moving on. If there's one thing that you know you should be focusing on the first 2 weeks, I want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on proteins. Super, super important. If there's anything you have to focus on, everything else will fall in line within the next 2 weeks anyway, but protein is going to be your challenge. I can tell you that right now. It's everybody's challenge. That's where you need to say to me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I have 74 proteins left. What do I need to do? Not 8 o'clock at night, because I'm not going to tell you to sit in front of your table and eat 9 ounces of chicken breast. You don't want me to tell you that. And on the flip side, if you have carbs left, you're not going to say, go eat 4 rice cakes. You might want me to do that. You might want to do that. But if you have a hard time getting carbs in, I need to speak with you because you should be able to eat carbs. Carbs are your friend. Carbs are yummy. When I first started doing this, though, I had the same mentality. And someone told me to take my oatmeal and take the chocolate rice cakes and break them up into my oatmeal. So it gave flavor to the oatmeal. and I got more carbs in. I do not need to worry about getting carbs in anymore. Believe me, I love carbs. Okay. So I want you to focus on that. I know it's a lot. It's going to be a lot of food. I'm going to hear there's no way I can get all this food in, but I'm going to help you do it. And 2 weeks it's going to take. I'm letting you know that right now. Some people might get it right off the bat, but it's the normal person. It takes 2 weeks to get used to eating all this food and trying to figure out how to do it. But I'm going to help you do that. Someone messaged me and said, can they use tofu as their protein? You can use whatever you want as your protein if it's protein. And tofu is protein. But tofu also has carbs and fats. So you have to remember it's not a lean protein. So when you track it, just be mindful of, what it's taking up in your budget. I used to love cheese. I still love cheese. I just don't eat it as much because it eats up so much of my fats. But I found ways to eat cheese without not getting all the fats or, breaking it up. So you can have whatever you want, but just think about how you're eating it. Like now, instead of having 2 slices of cheese with my sandwich, I'll eat 1 and then save a slice of cheese for later on in the afternoon, evening, when I know I'm going to want to pick at something. Whereas I would put 2 in and then it would be 7 o'clock at night. And I'm like, God, I can really want to eat this, blah. And I had no more fats left. So if you're that person, save stuff for the end of the day. I know every night I eat a yasso bar. You guys are going to hear this 100 million times. I live from my yasso bars. When I first started doing the yasso bars were $4.39 a box. They are $7.59 a box. For the same box, for the smaller yasso bars. I boycotted yasso bars. You guys remember when I boycotted yasso bars because they got smaller? Pissed me off because I wanted 2 for the price of 1. I wanted to eat 2 because I felt like I deserved it because they were this big and now they're this big. But I literally logged my yasso bar every single day it's in there. I've already copied it over until January 1st. I kid you not. And then if I have them and then Mike eats my last one, I have a nervous breakdown. And one time Mike's like, oh, I picked you up yasso bars. I was like, oh, because you probably ate the last one. But every night, 9 o'clock, babe, you want your yasso bar? I'm like, yep. And I eat it in 2 seconds. So if there's something you want, I had a girl that was in the tribe and she had to have a piece of chocolate every night. It was a Dove square. And she said it was more about the motivation underneath the wrapper, which really makes me laugh. Because that was a psychological thing in her head. She thought it was because of the motivational saying in the wrapper, but she really wanted the chocolate. And I said, just put it in your app in the morning. Take it out of your budget. And then you don't have to think about it the rest of the day. On the weekends, if you're going to have a glass of wine, take it out in the morning. Work around it. If you're going to go to a wedding or you have a big event or a party or anything, work around it. Put it in the app in the morning. Think about things you might eat. And then I know I bought so many of them from Publix when they were buy one, get one. I bought probably 8 boxes. I was so excited. It was like my loot. Made me so happy. And then I went back yesterday or Sunday and there was $7.49 a box. Yeah, it's crazy. It's disgusting. Actually stopped buying the ones that were $7.49 because those are the chocolate covered ones, but the regular ones are $6.59. Okay. What was I just talking about? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So the Dove thing, anything. If you know that, okay, so you can't do it ahead of time though. So if it's Wednesday, I used to say you could do this, but if it's Wednesday, you're going to a party on Saturday, don't stockpile your carbs and fats. It's not a healthy habit. Just think about what you're doing that day. Nobody should be overindulging as much that they need to worry about it 3 days in advance and take 30 carbs each day because they need another extra 90 carbs on a weekend because they're going to a party. We're learning healthy habits. We're learning how to have this lifestyle. And you'll just quickly sabotage yourself. So you don't want to do that. When you go out to a restaurant, eat whatever you want. People always ask me, should I buy a scale to measure my food, weigh my food? I always say yes. You won't always use it, but you'll learn to be able to eye things from your scale. So if you weigh something all the time and you know that this is what 6 ounces of chicken breast should look like because you've been weighing it. Chances are in 6 months, you won't need that scale anymore. I'm also on the flip side. I don't want you to rely on the scale. I don't want you taking scales on vacation with you or to restaurants. Now, Danielle Novak, who's in the group, takes it everywhere she goes. Her scale goes everywhere. I don't have a scale for food in my house. I do. It's actually, I think I might have put it in a donation pile, but it was like right here in the box still. And I was like, I'm never going to use this. I know it's here somewhere. I don't use it. I use packages. So if I buy chicken breast and it says that it's 3.6 pounds of chicken breast, I try to divide it out and then I put them in baggies before I freeze them. And I put a little piece of masking tape or tape on it and put what the ounces are. So when I grab it, I already know and I don't have to weigh it. I do that for a lot of things. I prep a lot. I count out, the 60 Cheerios and put them in baggies. I baggie up my fruit when I get it home. And so I don't have to measure. If it's this amount for the big package, you just divide it up for how many servings you want. It's easier that way. But I mean, you can buy a scale. It will help you. It'll help you be more accurate, but it's not something that I require, but they're super cheap. You can get it for like $10. I know my sister relies on it because before she came down to visit from New York, she's like, does your scale have tear on it? And I was like, let me look. I don't have a scale, but tear is good because it helps you when you have containers. So you can minus the containers. Kind of like when you go to the airport and you have a suitcase and you don't know if it's over 50 pounds. So you get on the scale without it, then you get on the scale with it, and then you subtract it. Okay. Let me make sure I don't miss my notes. Always double check your nutrition labels, especially things that come 4 in a package, 4 yogurts, for cottage cheese. For some reason, when you scan those, they're not accurate. The Yoplait yogurts from Costco, they're not accurate. So you have to make sure that you pick the right one. And that when you scan it, you could change it. I don't know why everybody messages me about the Yoplait yogurt from Costco. So I just like to bring that up. Don't drink your calories, volume, and I'm going to read this. If hunger is an issue, try not to drink your macros, protein shakes, coconut waters, kombucha. Volume and chewing and swallowing your food will almost always be more satisfying. High volume foods with fiber, such as broccoli, spinach, cucumbers, cauliflower, asparagus, mushrooms, peppers, zucchini, spaghetti squash, and celery, will make you full and not be high in macros. We talked about setting your environment up for success. I talked about dividing your macros through the course of the day. I just mentioned using the masking tape to put in baggies and put it on there if you're putting them in the freezer. It's also great if you crock pot. I do crock pot and I make a turkey chili that's amazing. And I only use the lean turkey, so it's kind of dry. So I put salsa in it and then some corn and some black beans. And I take each one of those items and I build my recipe. And then when you put it in your Myfitnesspal, you put the whole recipe. So when you eat it, you can just say you're having a cup of that recipe and it pulls out the macros for you. Or you can break it up and put it in containers, half cup containers, and you'll know what the breakdown is. But you got to put masking tape on it so you know which one you're using. I say talk about the tear button. Always, and I talked about this the other day, the fewer the meals, the bigger the meals, the better than the mini meals throughout the day. Some people will argue with that, but the bigger meals will keep you less hungry and not waiting for the next mini meal. We talked about getting to know your go-to foods, your staples, having one meal that you can manipulate, that you know you can play with the numbers and stuff. And eventually you're going to become a pro at estimating, but until then, try not to estimate. Think about what you're doing. The 17-page report will tell you your thumb is this. From here to here would be this. This would be this. And you can use that as a guide. It looks like, kind of looks like this. Estimating portion. So like a cup would be like this. So anyway, those will help you, but don't rely on that. Okay, so now I'm going to answer, and I told you guys I was adding you to groups last night and I was so tired. I totally forgot. And I'm so sorry. I'm being totally transparent with you guys. I was exhausted. So, when I get off tonight, I'm just going to sit and put you guys in those groups, cheat sheet groups and all those other groups, and things will come more picture to you when you see other groups too. Somebody said to me, what happens if you plan for the day, everything's logged in, and then things change and you didn't actually hit the numbers you thought you were going to hit. And when you changed it to the new stuff, you have stuff left over. Well, then that means you didn't hit your macros, right? Tomorrow is a new day. Today is gone. Tomorrow is a new day. You will hit your macros tomorrow. Don't dwell on what you couldn't do because of a circumstance you couldn't control. That just gives you anxiety, and that will make you frustrated and overwhelmed. Now, if it's 5 grams or 8 grams or 12 grams, yeah, eat it, finish it. But, if you have 30 and all of a sudden you're like, I really thought I calculated this correctly, but I didn't realize I did. I'm going to tell you it's a wash. Just let it go. I'm not going to always tell you that. So don't assume that that's what you need to do. I would definitely reach out to me and say, hey, I messed this up and I have this much left. And I'm going to say, well, can you try and get a little bit more and let's work together? That doesn't work for going over. And it's very easy to go over and and I don't mean this in a negative way, and be ignorant about it. If you logged sweet potato fries and you're out somewhere and you have an overstuffed potato, that's not sweet potato fries. So be mindful if your plan didn't go as planned. Don't overindulge because things changed. Now, if you thought you were going to a place where you can get 10 ounces of chicken breast for dinner and the place you went only had 6 or 8, that's a different story. But it's not about going over. This only works if you go under, where I'm like, don't worry about it. Tomorrow's a new day. I mean, I can't make you vomit food if you overeat either, and I don't want to do that, but you should know if you're going over or under because you're pre-logging. So if you had sweet potato fries in there and you realize, oh, I can't have sweet potato fries, you delete them, you put the new option in, and mac and cheese does not fit, you don't get the mac and cheese. Or you don't get as much mac and cheese. Stacy, you're smiling with an eye, and I'm wondering if it was that option. I don't even know. Was it mac and cheese? No. Okay. Mac and cheese is one of my favorite dishes. And pancakes. 2 carbs. And any dessert. And candy. Okay. We'll leave that there. And I'm going to get timed out. We have less than a minute. Oh my gosh, that went so fast. I didn't even think I would have a lot to talk about this meeting. I'm glad I answered Stacy's question with the eye. And I hope you guys all have a great night. Start tracking. Put whatever you can in for tomorrow's food. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to message you guys in the app, and you're going to message me back and say, yes, please look at my food. And we're going to work together, all of us. All right. You guys excited? I'm excited. We have the next couple of days just to practice and screw up and mess up. And then come Monday, you'll have more of an understanding and we move forward. This week is your freebie week. Take advantage of it. You guys are going to rock the challenge. I am so excited. I will see you Saturday for the Q&A.